I grew up in a poor family. My dad was a gambler, womanizer, and he left us when I was 18 months. I have two elder sisters, plus the political instability in Indonesia. That's why we often felt insecure and a lot of fear and anxiety. So at the age of 20, I met a Singaporean businessman. He said that he fell in love with me and he wanted to marry me. So I got married 6 months after we met each other. 6 months later, I got pregnant. And because he wants the baby to become a Singaporean, so that's how I came to Singapore 23 years ago. The first time when I came to Singapore, when I walked Orchard Road from the beginning to the end, to me is freedom. It's a freedom that we as a minority Chinese in Indonesia don't get, because we don't walk on the street, we don't take public transport, we don't even play outside, especially for my family, because we are all women and there's no one to protect us. So when I walk on the Orchard Road in Singapore from the beginning to the end, to me it's like, wow, you know, this is freedom. When Joel was born, the second day, the doctor detected some abnormality. On the 5th day, they concluded that Joel had Williams syndrome. Williams syndrome is kind of Down syndrome that is lacking in the chromosome, in the gene. So and also because her ventricle is very thick, preventing the blood and the energy circulation to go to the upper part of the body. So she also developed brain damage, and she also has 3 holes in her heart. And she is also a hemophilia carrier because her father is a hemophilia. The doctor said that she will not live past 3 months. I cannot accept it because I was born in a family that is I was not happy as a child, and when I got married, I hoped to be able to build a happy home, a happy family on my own. But then, where does the 3 holes in the heart come from? Where does the brain damage come from? Where does the Down syndrome come from? I couldn't accept, and I find that life is just so unfair for me. And when we celebrate first month, the father told me that I think we are not meant for each other. I think we have to separate. I was totally shocked because this was the last thing that I ever thought will happen to me. I mean, now we got married and we have a child, and the child is so sick, and because of that, I cannot go back to Indonesia. And the father said that we are not meant for each other. I kept asking, what do you mean by we are not meant for each other? Is there anything that I could make up? You know, is there anything that I can do, I can change? But he said that we are just not meant for each other, and he left the next day without saying anything, without leaving anything behind. I was puzzled for months that why my marriage has to end this way, because prior to coming to Singapore, everything was perfect, everything was good, and I was happy, and I did not sense anything wrong with my marriage. But then why out of sudden things happen in this way? So quietly I booked a ticket, leaving Joel behind. So I stepped into the house, I opened the door, and I saw there's another woman there. A woman living in my house, sleeping on my bed, and my heart breaks. I just thought that perhaps they're happier without me. I just ran outside and I stopped a taxi and I make a detour. I went back to Soekarno-Hatta, the airport, and I just sat there and I rebooked my air ticket and just sat there and cried, and finally I found out a true reason why he said. things does not work out in our marriage. I came back to Singapore and all hope is gone. I was too ashamed of myself. I was too ashamed to even tell my mother we're still in Medan, because to me, I left Medan with high hope that I'm going to be well-to-do. I'm going to marry a businessman, and I'm going to make it in life, and building my own family. I'm going to be happy. But when things happened not in a way that I thought, it is too shameful for me to go back to Medan. It is too shameful for me to even tell my mother about all the bad things that happened to me, because I saw how my mother suffer raising the three of us up single-handed. She has to work, and then she has to deal with being no husband at such a young age, being bullied by neighbors and friends and relatives, and I grew up, saw her suffering. So to me, the last thing that I want to do is to break this news to her. So there's no way out, there's no money, no friend, I'm not able to speak English, and it's in a foreign land that I know not of the culture, the people, the language. So there's no way out for me. So I thought the only way is to end it. I plan to jump down from 14th floor in the apartment where I stay. But God has a higher way for me. At that point of time, all that I felt right here was painful. The pain of betrayal. It has become physical, that pain, that even when I breathe, it's painful. I count every second of the day. I was in a severe depression. I don't sleep for 5 days. I don't eat for 5 days. I wrote a letter to my mother to say that I'm sorry I cannot send money. I cannot, be a good daughter. And then I make all plan already. I'm getting ready to go out for the last time. I received a phone call from an insurance agent. His name is Steve. I don't know him. He said that, I heard from so-and-so that, you have a baby, and if you buy an insurance policy from me right now, the price is very good. So I said that, no, I'm not buying insurance. I don't have money to buy insurance. And I want to put down the phone. And he said, wait, hold on. He said that, my church has evangelistic meeting. There's a special speaker coming. Can I invite you to a church? Church was a foreign to me, because my whole life I've never stepped into the church. Before I said no, I remember that, I want to go to Orchard Road. It's very troublesome for me to carry baby, bring pampers, bring milk powder and all that, and go out, and because I'm not familiar with Singapore. Yeah, and I said to him the strange answer. I said that, if you can bring me to Orchard Road, okay, either before or after your service, okay, I'll go with you. I never expect him to say yes, but then he said, yes, I'll come and get you, because my church is slightly off Orchard Road. So he came with his wife. He picked me up, and then he sent me to a church. And I was seated at the last third row from the back, holding on to a baby. And this man that brought me to the church with his wife, they just put me there, and then they just disappear. I don't know where they are. And it's English service. I don't understand English. It's the first time in my entire life that I stepped into a church that I do not understand. I don't understand the language. They were singing in English, I don't understand. The pastor was preaching in English that I don't understand a single word. Throughout the entire service, I only focused on one thing. It's very painful here. I couldn't breathe. When is this going to end? Because I just want to go out and I just want to end my life. Until At the end of service, the speaker asked, is there anyone that want to come forward to get prayer? I didn't even know. But up from the stage, the preacher was pointing at me. He said, that woman with a baby, I want you to come forward. Ushers came from the left and from the right and asked me to go out. I said, go out, the preacher is calling you. I went out carrying the Joel. They were trying to translate in Hokkien to me. And the preacher was asking me, he said, do you want to receive Jesus Christ as your personal Lord and Savior? My answer is, who is Jesus? I don't know who is Jesus. If he can even get me out of my situation. I saw the whole auditorium was red in color, radar red. And then suddenly, because when I went out feeling very pain, a lot of pain right here and suffocating. But as I went out and I said, who is this Jesus? Suddenly I sensed peace that transcends beyond understanding, peace that I never thought in my entire life exists. I asked them, I don't know who is this Jesus, but if this Jesus that you're talking about equivalent to this peace that I am experiencing, I must have it. I cannot do without it. So I received Jesus Christ as my personal Lord and Savior there and then. I came home. That was the first night that I slept so soundly. And my daughter, for the strangest reason that normally she will wake up every 2 hours, she also sleep very soundly. So the both of us able to sleep until the next day, 9 o'clock. That morning, when I wake up, something happened as I wake up and as I walk to the window. As I look out, how come this world can be so beautiful? You see, nothing has changed at that point of time. The father is still gone. I still don't have money. I still don't have anything. I still don't have hope. And I was trying to search, where is that pain? Where is that pain that I couldn't even breathe? It is gone. Just like that. Nothing has changed externally, but something changed within me. Something changed within here. I picked up the letter that I wrote to my mother and I read it again. Somehow there is strength from the inside that tells me that no, I'm not going to die, but I'm going to live. I'm going to live for my daughter, and most important of all, I'm going to live to declare that, hey, Jesus that I just knew the night before, He can heal and mend my broken heart. After that experience, I decided that, hey, I want to restart my life all over again. I picked up the courage to call my mother to tell her all the problem. And I asked her that, can you come to Singapore and take care of my daughter so that we can start afresh here in Singapore? I need to go and look for a job. But to look for a job for a foreigner like me, back then, don't speak English, don't know anything. I only managed to go into a first-year university in Indonesia, and then I got married straight away. So in Singapore, my education is not even recognized. I knocked at so many doors and I was rejected. And I thought that what else can I do? Maybe I go and sell McDonald's, I go and sell Kentucky. Okay, and again, I went to McDonald's and Kentucky and I was rejected too. So I have to put my resume in a recruitment agent. And then one day the recruitment agency called me and they said that, I was looking through your CV and I found out something that you're good at. Bahasa Indonesia. The only thing that I was good at, is Bahasa Indonesia. So he said that I have an opening for you, and you will have no problem speaking because all your colleagues, speak Malay. So they put me as a security guard. Yeah, so that was my first job, 23 years ago, as a security guard, earning $2.70 per hour. Yeah, I was there for 3 months as a security guard. And then my supervisor looked at me and he said that, hey, why not I send you for English course so that you can become an operator. So they sent me for English course and eventually I became an operator. And then after that, the recruitment agency gave me another assignment in another company as an operator. And then from the operator, the recruitment agency again referred me to another company. Okay, this is the construction company that they made me an administrator. And then they sent me for further school. From administrator, I became assistant manager. From assistant manager, I became manager and then a senior manager. And then after that, I got headhunted to another company. From a senior manager, I became a general manager. And then from a general manager, I became a managing director. Yeah, just within 6 years. It was really the grace of God. Because if I think back those years, to be honest, I don't know how I went through. I have to work like from 8:30 to 5. And then I have to go to study from 7 to 10. And then when I come home is where the time I take over taking care of Joelle. And Joelle wakes up every 2 hours for her feeding. And because I don't have enough income, I have to look for supplements. So I bake cookies. I pack mushroom. I pack hampers to have income supplements. And plus, when I study, eventually when the company sent me for management course, I have to do a lot of paperwork. I have to study very hard. I don't know where does all this strength came from. Maybe one day I only sleep like 2 hours, 3 hours. But the Lord gave me a verse for me to go through it. He said that in Hebrew 11:6, he said that without faith, it is impossible to please God. For whoever that come to Him must believe that He is. And He is the rewarder of those who diligently seek Him. So when I seek Him and look at Him alone, I have to forego my situation. I have to forgo, yes, it's tiring. But instead of complaining, instead of murmuring, instead of being ungrateful, I choose to say that the joy of the Lord is my strength. And that is where I got my strength back all the time without fail. Every time when I felt tired, I would just say that, the joy of the Lord is my strength. And the strength just came. And that keeps me going. I remember I was a human resource manager. As a human resource manager, you need to write a lot of memos, like informing people that, okay, today is public holiday, tomorrow your leave may be, taken, this, and then I have to write a lot of memo. The company gave me opportunity, knowing that my English is so bad, okay, but not everyone are being gracious. And a lot of them are doctors, engineers, professional and all that. And the notice board is right in the middle of a place that everybody every day will walk past. And every time when I want to write a memo to put up on the notice board, I was always in tremble. Because my English was so poor, my grammar is always wrong. And every time when I put out, I will see very soon a red pen, a green pen. Sometimes they will put a turtle, and then they will make fun of me, like they will put remarks that which school do you graduate from? I mean, everybody in the office will walk past and will look at it and will laugh at me. So every time when I collect back those memorandum with full of remarks and with funny cartoons and all that, and I will ask myself, do I give up? I can give up easily. Every time when I look at that memorandum and when I want to give up, I always remember the Lord's promise to me when He gave me Joel 2:25-26. He said that I will restore to you all that has been eaten by the locust. All the years that the locust has eaten, I will restore to you, and you will eat in plenty and praise the name of the Lord your God who has dealt wondrously with you. And I remember He said this. He said that for my people will never be put to shame. Those who trust in the Lord will never be put to shame. So I say that, okay, I will work even harder and I will turn this adversity into something that will come out good for me. Doctors say that she will not live past 3 months. She lived past 3 months. Doctors say that 6 months at the most. She lived past 6 months. And doctors say that 1 year she'll die. She never died. She asked me to prepare 100,000 Sing dollar for surgery. I don't have 100,000 Sing at that point of time, but I know that I have a big God and I can pray. So I prayed. I stopped seeing doctor because of not having enough money. Joelle was always sick. She is so weak that 1 month she will sick for 3 weeks, and then after that she will get sick again. She is so weak that she's not able to walk. She's only started learning to walk at the age of 4. That's how she grew up. And then she always have problem because she couldn't breathe properly. She will always have problem during feeding, during milk time. Prayed and prayed and prayed and prayed, and she got better. I sense that she got better, although I never bring her to see doctor, but just praying and praying. And at the age of 6, God said, why not you bring her back to see the doctor and see what the doctor said. I brought her back to see the doctor. They did an ECG on the heart. And they asked me, what did you do to this child? I said, I didn't do anything. He said that it cannot be. He said, you look at the old report, this heart, the 3 holes in the heart and is failing, okay. But he said, when you look at the new report, okay, this heart is normal, it's totally perfect. And to them, it is still impossible because as they put the 2 reports together side by side, the old report and the new report, they say that these 2 hearts is not connected to each other. And to them, from the medical point of view, it is something that is impossible because they cannot trace back. The doctor told me that, from their medical point of view, there's a recovery process. Every time, when from there's a hole to become no holes. Okay, so it's like, closing up, they're able to trace. He said, but in your daughter's case, we are unable to trace anything because these 2 hearts, as they put together, it has got it's a different set of heart, as if that there's a hand that removed the old one and put in the new one, okay? And who can do this kind of miracle? It's only God. So God heals her heart. And I became greedy. I say that, God, if you can heal the heart, you can heal the brain too. At that point of time, Joelle was 6 years plus, and I need to register her to a primary school. So I say that, God, surely you heal the heart, surely you heal the brain too. Because what good is it if she has a perfect heart without a perfect brain? So every day I pray, God, you must heal. You must heal. When are you going to heal? I got no more time. I prayed and prayed and prayed and prayed and prayed, and I make my own decision. I say that Joelle must be a normal child. Okay, the Lord surely will heal her brain. So I put her in a normal school. So the Lord spoke to me. He said that, do you think that Joel is a burden to you? I said, of course, yes. You ask any parents who have a special child, it's very burdensome. You don't know what to do to them. Sometimes you want to scold them. You think they don't know, they know. Sometimes you scold them, it turns out to be they don't know. The Lord said, what about I say that she's a blessing to you? I said, how can a burden become a blessing? He said that, is it easy to love the lovable? Yeah. But if you are able to love the unlovable, you see already you don't know how to love. And the love is always come with a question. Why can't you be normal? Yeah, the conditioned love, When you're able to love the unlovable, then the true Christ-like love will be developed in you. He said that, what makes you think the world call them special child? The Lord said, because they were special in my sight. And I was like, wow, God, you said that they are special in your sight. You don't even call me special in your sight. So I said, okay, Lord, if you say that this child is a blessing, then so be it. From today onwards, I'm going to change my prayer. I'm not going to say that, God, you must heal her. I'm not going to twist your hand to say that, God, if you don't heal her, I'm not going to friend you, but be it unto me according to your will. If today she will be like a thorn on a Paul's side to me, so that I will cling on to you with that tenacity that I will never let you go, so be it. I took Joelle out from a normal school. I put her in a special school. I said sorry to her. I say that I am sorry. Mommy is sorry. My mouth, I said I love you. But in my heart, I have never truly 100% accept you as who you are. But from today onwards, I'm not going to expect you to be like what I wish for or I dream of. But I'm going to just accept you as how the Lord has created you. She cried big time. She cried and cried and cried and cried, and I thought she didn't know all these words, but they knew. She knew. They have a very sensitive heart. They know who can accept them fully and who is not accepting them fully. And progressively, I saw that she recovered. From there onwards, she excelled. When I put her in a normal school, she's always condemned there. I put her in a special school, she became a school prefect. And then she started learning piano. She started singing and dancing. And every now and then, she will tell me things like, Jesus visited me in my dream last night. And she grew and she loved God, and she can do things that normal people can do, normal child can do, except academically she's weak, but the rest of it, she is very good, and I am very happy. All the while I thought that my existence is to care for Joelle, but the Lord reminded me, actually is Joelle is there so that I can fulfill God's purpose in my life.